Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where we currently have 5 years to build the war canoe wharves, and we will get there. Now, I was just thinking about this, and I think we're definitely going to need more than one of these, right? Oh, are you actually building this? They actually built the armorer. Cool. So what we're going to need here, I think, is an additional blade napper and armorer right down over here. We also might want to think about some housing in this area, but we do reach this fairly well from this housing up here. So I think for now, that's reasonably fine. We'll get that underway. That's going well. We, of course, do need to work on quite a lot of this out over here. We failed to dispatch our military levies, and that reduced our prestige. Okay. That's interesting. They were requiring 3 spearmen, and these guys are on Empire service. I guess we'll put this guy on Empire service as well. Okay, well, that's very awkward for sure. So we do have this armorer here and here now. That's looking great. And this blade napper will hopefully get placed very soon. Yeah, there we go. That looks fantastic. Still need some clay over there, but that should get done soon. Okay. So everything is going fairly okay here. We just need a good amount of additional progress on these chinampas, and I think we should get there pretty soon. So I'm definitely thinking an invading army from Tlatoani. They're coming from the north? Okay, we'll see how many of them there are. That'll be interesting. I'm not going to levy our troops just yet. We know they're coming from the north. Probably this way would be my guess, although I suppose they could come from over here. We'll see. We don't have any, like, defensive walls or anything like that, and I don't really plan on putting any up. So we'll see what happens with that. Some of our workshops are lacking cotton, and that's deeply, deeply unsurprising. More cotton production may not be a bad thing. So we shall see. Well, where's Tlatoani's troops? They're going to arrive any moment now. Not yet, though. So, I mean, ultimately that's good that they haven't arrived yet, right? Ah, here we go. Invasion point is this side. Cool. So we'll rally some troops out over this direction, and we're going to bring both of these captains over here. Not like we have a large force here, but we're going to be building up our force soon enough. This is a pretty small invading force as well. So that looks good for the moment. Our troops are making their way out here. Although they're a little spread out. And we definitely don't have the numbers on them. But it's okay. Here comes our troops. Excellent. So that is all 6 of them. Now, I'm noticing that they are in a little bit of a... Okay, they're more grouped up now. Well, we're probably going to lose this if I had to guess. We're actually trading fairly well, but it's, you know, it's dicey. They're starting to flee. We actually win this. Cool. So that's fantastic. We're going to disband these guys at this point. So this guy is displeased by our lack of devotion. Actually, this lady. So that's fine. We need a shrine. Okay. So what would the symmetry out over here be? This would be good symmetry over here. Average. Awful. Weak. This would be good symmetry up here. This would reach most of our houses. We'll go with the good symmetry right here. That seems great. So we'll do that for now. And how are we doing on our chinampas down over here? Well, we're definitely making some progress over there. Do we feel like we need additional clay pits? I think it wouldn't hurt. So let's put in a clay pit right about here. Just to have some additional clay production coming in. I feel like we could use more clay. For sure. So we'll get that going. I don't think our real lack here is timber. I do believe that it is clay. So we have 4 years at this point, and we can see that we're starting to make some progress out over this direction. That's for sure. But I was really hoping these Chinampas would be further along than this. We're not getting a lot of work done out over this way. Once again, we're seeing this blade napper not wanting to be worked on. I think this is due to a lack of clay. So that's absolutely a concern. We accept clay here. And that is going to reach this clay pit. So that seems okay. Or should I say, oh, clay. I probably shouldn't say that. Let's go ahead and do a road like this. It's a little awkward, but this area here is already going to be a little awkward. That seems fine. We're definitely starting to see some Chinampas maturing down over here. So that looks good. We're currently short of common workers. We do have more space for commoners out over here, so that seems great. Our prestige is at 35 out of 40 right now, so that seems pretty good. Our armed forces are not adequate to deter our enemies yet. The plan is for that to change, although we may want to consider a fortress up over here. Or a barracks. What supervises barracks? Royal Palace and these 2 shrines, or 1 shrine, actually, this shrine. Okay, do we have one of those? Yes, it's here, and that then means that we should probably put the barracks about here or so. Like that. Okay, so my question then is this awkward? It is awkward. The barracks is slightly larger than this block. Okay, slightly larger than the temple. That's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. So that seems fine for now. We are making progress on a number of these Chinampas now. So that's looking good, but we only have 4 years remaining. And I do think getting this barracks up here is going to be a pretty big deal. We've got plenty of housing nearby. So that'll be very helpful for us in terms of boosting our military strength. We've also got these guys down over here, right? And I'm thinking right now that we may also want to put a blade napper and an armorer right up over here. So to that end, I'm thinking about a porter up over this way as well. So this porter yard would go about here. And that would, of course, be getting obsidian. It would also be getting salt. And it would also be getting cotton. Like this. And then it would accept weapons and armor. Like that. And then we've got another one that we can get over here. So maybe this would be... I think the storage over here for the granary is fine. Yeah, that seems good. Can we build multiple granaries? We should probably be doing that instead of porter yards, because I think they expire in porter yards. They I want to say decay. What's the word I'm looking for? That's not the right word. They rot in storage. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. So can we build multiple granaries? If so, I should have been doing that. Yeah, we could totally build multiple granaries. So we should be using granaries to collect from the farms. Sure. That's something I should have been doing a long time ago. That's absolutely fine, and we'll get the blade napper and armorer done up over here, and this barracks will get finished up soon enough as well. So that'll take a little bit of time. I'm going to bring this up. That's 2 tiles, 3, 4. And then this would go over something kind of like that. That would be 5 in total. Let's take this up to 6 and just have it be something like that. That seems fine. Okay, so down over this direction, I keep hoping that we're going to have something that we can do down here, and we keep not. We do have the ability to put in a little bit of road out this direction, heavy on the little, but we can put some in there anyway, and that's a good thing to do. So we'll get going on that. We can put in 1 piece of road here now too. So that seems fine. And we're probably going to want to put in a cotton farm. I'm going to do that right down over here. So I'm going to do a farmer's hut here. I'm wondering where the cotton buds are currently going. We are at 606 here. Where are the cotton buds being collected at? So this small cottage here has the range to go directly to the cotton weavers. Okay. I'm going to put in a porter stop somewhere over this direction. Maybe not there. We could put it in right here. And this is going to be accepting, for now, just cotton buds. Only cotton buds. And then down over this direction, we're going to want to put in more cotton. So something along the lines of this, and then over on this side as well. That brings us up to 20, 25, 27, 28, and then these 4, once these Chinampas finish, would bring us up to 32. So that sounds good for now. We'll get that underway. I do see that we can build a segment of road here. Not like that's, you know, terribly useful, but we can do that for now. This Chinampa, we still need some timber over here. So to that end, we could think about another sawyer or two over this way. We do have these. There are no nearby trees mature enough to harvest. So yeah, relocation here is absolutely a good idea. I want to grab this guy and I'm going to move it down to here. And apparently there's not a section of road there. So let's do that. This one will be able to harvest the trees here once they regrow and will hopefully not be in a position where it's stuck the way it currently is. Okay, up over this direction. Processing the harvest, processing the harvest, processing the harvest, tending, and processing the harvest. So we're definitely cutting away at this forest. That's absolutely for sure. But we've got some work to do down over here. So we'll get going on some of that. So I want to check here. Production is underway on all of this. That looks excellent. So we can see we're starting to build up some weapons and armor here. Up over this direction, we are eventually going to do that, but we don't have staff up over here, and that's absolutely understood. We could put in a house up over this direction, like one here for now, just to help staff this area a little bit. So this barracks just finished, and that seems great. I don't think we want to do conscripts here for right now. This looks absolutely fine. We'll get our might up a little bit with that. So that looks good. Down over this direction, I keep hoping to see these Chinampas actually be worked on. We're definitely seeing Chinampas being worked on over here, though, and that does seem good. So we're going to need to have a bridge here. We're going to need to have a bridge here and a bridge here. So we can get those in there for now. And eventually the sawyer will be moved. I hope. We'll get there eventually. So this farmer's hut, we're going to need some farmers there. And this sawyer is now able to start tending to some of these trees. So that should hopefully get us some more progress down over here. Because, of course, we need to get some of this timber here. And actually, I'm going to have this be set to accept timber from these 2 sawyers. So that looks good. And then, of course, we're getting clay from out over this way. We should have enough clay coming in, I think. I'm not planning on chinampaing much more area than this. I think we're in a pretty good spot as far as most of our resources go. We need to grow our might, and we're working on it. Do we need an additional noble compound, I'm wondering? Because I'm noting this vacant post here. We need cloth out over here. So we should probably... Do we have a cloth weaver? I'm not sure that we do. Hang on. That's under here, isn't it? So this is a cloth weaver here, and I don't, to my knowledge, believe that there is a cloth weaver here. We can put it in here, or we could just put it in here. The nobles have frontage on this road, not on this road. We could change that by just running like a back door to the nobles like that so that they have a connection there. And then we can do a cloth weaver right here with the intention being that this is supposed to go directly into feeding these noble compounds. Yeah, that seems reasonably fine for now. I would love to see the nobles actually coming in here. We'll see if that ends up happening. And I don't know that we have enough space here for another common home. No, we definitely don't. So that's absolutely fine. We could put gardens in there or something. It doesn't really matter, but a common home here would work just fine. So this road can connect in here, and we could even have it come up here and have this be kind of a truncated block with an additional common home right there. I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, down over this direction, there's still a lot that is not happening, right? Why do we have a dirt road here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is not supposed to be here. This dirt road gets removed, and let's put in a bridge here for now. This road is intended to be on this side. So that'll be okay eventually once we get that done, right? But for now, yeah, we can put in a couple of pieces of road here, but a lot of the chinampas out over there are nowhere near complete yet. I want to check in on this chinampa. It still needs timber. That's understood. This sawyer is now able to harvest this down here, and this one is now able to harvest these, which are starting to regrow, and hopefully they're going to both be able to harvest at full speed consistently. That's the idea anyway. Our levies have been sent, and that is good. We're short of common workers, and we're short of elite workers. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. So what I want to do is I want to put in another noble compound right up over here. We'll do it just like that. And then this is 4, 5, 6. So something like that in terms of the block size. I don't like it. I'm going to pull this back, and we'll just do something like that. Okay, so this noble compound is going to be able to access a lot of the same resources that these are, and hopefully that'll be good. But we definitely need more nobles up here to fill this post. So that looks good for now, and we're just busily training up at our barracks. They need weapons to fight at full strength, but we're producing weapons and armor over here. Yeah, we're short of weapons, armor, and maize. So that's understood. This porter yard here could be set to balance maize, or we could put another granary up here. That's an interesting option, actually. If we were to put a granary here, and then have a road that goes through like this. It's kind of awkward. It makes us have room for a home here or a service, something. And then this would be set to just accepting maize. So that would be about delivering maize, hopefully, to this barracks. It would be dedicated specifically for that. So we're now short of weapons and maize here. Okay, so that looks good for now. Down over this direction, we are starting to see some of this be cleared. That's great to see. Very, very happy about that. We're definitely going to need some road going through here. And there's another clearance of chinampas. I love it. So we're absolutely starting to see some progress down this way. We've still got 4 years, so that's a good amount of time. I'm not terribly concerned about that. And then the question becomes, are any of these out of range of grown trees? Not right now is the answer. Although, probably pretty soon, if I had to guess. So this is probably overlogged over here. If we were to move a sawyer or two up this direction, that would probably be for the best. Yeah, I'm going to move this one to be up over this way. And then I'm wondering about growth levels here. Yeah, we're going to see some of these trees growing quite soon. So that'll hopefully lessen the load over here because this will be able to access some of these out here as well as some of this. So that'll be fine for now. We'll get going on that. Okay, over this direction, this cloth weaver still being worked on. This noble compound is now present. So that looks good. Does it have market access? Where is the nearest market? That would be this one. Yeah, I'm going to call that a no. So we're going to put in market access up over here, ideally. Unfortunately, that's 3. We could put it in here. I like it. Let's do that. That fits in very nicely there. So that looks good for the moment. There's a lot of construction going on up over this direction, but this barracks is looking good. It needs a lot more blades and a lot more cloth. Or a lot more armor, rather. The maze is looking pretty good for now. We're short of weapons here, and we probably need another armorer and blade napper. So for the moment, what I'm going to do is exactly that. I'm going to put in a blade napper here, which can reach this guy, and an armorer is going to go up here, which can also just reach this border yard. So that looks good. It'll be supplied nicely like that. I'm hoping that 2 will be enough to supply that. We will see. Okay, down over this direction, we're absolutely starting to see some space opening up. So that's fantastic. This Chinampa here is going to be done soon. We just need to connect in this road. What is this? That's a dirt road? That is not supposed to be a dirt road. That is supposed to be a bridge over the canal. So let's put in a canal here with a bridge. Okay, hang on. Undo that. There's a road there right now. So apparently if we canal a road, it automatically puts in a bridge. That's a good thing to know. So that is absolutely great. I'm pleased with that. So this is coming online over here. We see that this meadow is now cleared. So we can absolutely put in another cotton bed here to grow a little bit more cotton over this way. That seems great. Because we could obviously use more cotton. So down here we see that there's a lot of weapons and armor, and this is set to accept weapons and armor. So it's not going to try to collect weapons and armor from this border yard, which is good. So war canoe wharves. We're so close to being ready to start making some of these, I feel like. So we can put one... This terrain is blocked, right? It has to be out over like this. So that would be 1. This would be 2. And that would be 3. So then we'd have 4 and 5. And then we'd have a little bit of extra space over here. Okay. So that looks good. These are going to need nobles over here, I think. Yeah, we're going to need 2 nobles for each of these. So for 5 of them, that means 10 total nobles, which means 3 noble compounds need to be at least quasi nearby. We can use some of this space for that, I think. So we're going to need a noble compound about here, a noble compound about here, and then I'm going to do one about here. So that should hopefully be in range of all 5 of these wharves. And that'll take a little bit of time for sure. We'll probably need some housing down here too. We've got these, but it's not, you know, terribly effective. So this would be lacking road access. What if we did that and then put a home there? So that's essentially like a modern driveway specifically for this home. And then we've got this home here, which will help service some of this. But we'll also need some housing possibly over here. And almost certainly some housing up here. So that'll be fine for now. Our might is at 27 out of 70 right now. Looks like this war canoe wharf... Okay, that's a lot of timber and a lot of stone to get these built. That's understood. We do have a decent amount of stone on hand, but we're going to need a lot more. So that's fine. I do want to continue our road out this direction, and these Chinampas are going to need to finish up. They will finish eventually, so that looks good for now. A lot of this Chinampa over here is finishing, so I'm very pleased with that. Some of our workshops lack Megui. Right, we need that for the cloth weaver. So I'm thinking right now that we could put a Megui farm right up over here. Far away from the... We cannot... Okay, we can't plant it. Never mind. We will have to import. So with that in mind, we can... Let's see here. Not here. Not here. Not here. And not here. We're going to have to find somebody who exports Megui. Noted. So for that, we can put in a trading post right up over... I don't love this spot. I'm going to change this a little bit. There we go. That'll use this space a little bit more efficiently. Cool. So with that done, we're just going to put in... Oh, we can build a royal palace? That's interesting. I didn't expect to be able to build a royal palace. So we want this trade to be with someone who can export Megui. So what do we got? These guys. Okay, so we're going to send in some of these envoys. I'm just going to do these guys. Free trade, lavish and guaranteed. Done. Okay, so that will give us access here to... this is not them. We don't have access yet. Our armed forces are not adequate to deter our enemies. Some of our forts need more soldiers. Yeah. That's understood. We've got a lot of problems there. We're working on it. Okay, down over this direction, we can extend this road down to here. And these Chinampas are definitely making progress. We can actually extend this road a little further now, and we can connect the road here and here, so that looks good. So we can probably... Okay, we successfully sent our tribute. Our prestige is up high enough now. Beautiful. We can now get another war canoe wharf over here. So that is 4 out of 5. And then the 5th is going to go here. We can actually put that in right now. So let's do that. That looks phenomenal. So that is, of course, going to be in range of all of these noble compounds. That looks perfect. And then as far as housing goes, we should be able to reach some of that. Our envoys have been dispatched and should arrive within a month. So that seems good. It is about time to put a cut in here, but I want to wait. Reason being that we're going to need to open up the Megui route before I forget. So we're going to wait on that. That's fine. It should be done shortly. Okay, how are we doing up here? So we're still lacking in weapons up over on this side. That's understood. We have this blade napper up here. They're lacking timber. Okay, we could definitely have this be getting timber. So that'll bring up timber and be able to get that underway. So that looks good. No issue there. There's also some access out over this way, but I think for the moment, just having this get timber will be fine. Our envoys were successful, so that of course means we want these guys to go here, and we want to import Megui. Just something like that. We want to have enough to be able, and that'll be able to deliver to this cloth weaver. That seems perfect. Excellent. So that's absolutely wonderful. Some of our war canoes are lacking armor and maize. Right. Having a granary down here is fine. This is going to eat up a lot of space over here. But this can be set to getting maize, fruit, and chili. Like that. We could also toss in some fish here. And then have it be like 120 maize, 120 fish, and then like... we can actually have this be quite a lot. Like that. Okay, so that seems fine. This is taking up a lot of space over here. This was intended to all be farmland, but this is okay. We're going to need to service all of this anyway. So then this is additional like fishing space that we could do over here. Bandits. Okay, I'm not terribly concerned about that. So we're going to be able to move some of that down over from this granary, and that'll supply this for sure. I'm wondering about this porter yard here. Is that actually reaching all of these? It's reaching down over here, but it's not, I think, reaching this wharf. Yeah, it's not reaching this one. So this porter yard here is at 4 of 6. We can have this be on getting weapons and armor, and that'll be fine. So that'll solve that problem. Perfect. We do have a lot of weapons and armor down here right now. That looks good. But for now, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get this Megui importation online. And hopefully, with any luck, we'll be able to get this finished up pretty easily. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. Also, I just realized, real quick here, the porter yard that was over here, specifically next to the cloth weaver, was set to gather cotton, because I always forget that cotton is not used for cloth. I moved it from cotton to makeweed, and this is going to be on getting. There we go. Cool.